Hello, this is Eli Cook. My senior project is the Spacetime Event Reminder, which is an Android app for people who want to know about upcoming astronomical events and receive notifications about those events before they take place. The main features of the app include a list of upcoming sky events, the ability to make custom events, and letting the user set reminders and when those reminders go off. Other features include letting the user see where in the sky the event takes place and a night vision mode. When you first open the app, you'll see the list of upcoming events. It shows the name of the event as well as the date and time that the event takes place. Also, if the reminder has been set for that event, it has a little icon off to the side. If you look at one of the events, you'll also find a description that gives you more information, and this is also where you would set your reminder for the event. You can turn it on or off and select how much time before the event takes place that you want the reminder happening. And that can be set in minutes, hours, or days. If you wanted a custom event, you just have to press the plus at the top of the main page, give the event a title, whatever you want, and pick the date the event happens, the time it happens, any description you might want to add, and also you can set the reminder for the event. It then shows up on the list. This list here can also be filtered based off if you wanted to only see events that had reminders, you can just select them. Or if you wanted to show just custom events that you've added, you can select them, or a combination of those two. If you didn't want any reminders to show up, you can also pause all reminders, which will prevent any notifications from happening. And you can also resume the reminders if you want to. You can delete the events as well by hitting the trash can icon on the detail page. If you want to know where in the sky the event is going to take place, you can look it up on the sky map. So on the detail page, if you hit the menu, we'll say find on sky map, and this only shows up if you have the app SkyMap installed, which is available for free in the Play Store. When you hit that, it sends the search term from the event to the app. In this case, it's Saturn, and then you can just turn your phone around and point it towards where the object is in the sky. So in this case, there is where Saturn is. And also related to that is the night vision mode, which helps if you're using the app at night. So you can turn that on from the main menu, and it changes the color scheme to a red, black, and gray color, which is better for your eyes if you're using the app at night. I'll show you what one of the notifications look like. If you set the reminder for a time before the current time, it will have the reminder go off right away. So here's a notification, and it shows the title of the event, and when you press it, it opens the app and displays the detail page for that event. Now I'll show you some of the code from the project. One of the trickiest things to get right was the reminders, because in Android, setting one alarm is straightforward, but once you start setting multiple alarms, you have to be careful that they don't override each other and that they're handled properly. So I have this Java hash map here that I use to keep track of the IDs for the events that have reminders and the corresponding pending intents. And pending intents are just an object that holds information so that the operating system knows what to do when the alarm goes off. And it also has extra information such as the title of the event. Then we have set all alarms and update alarm. Set all alarms is called when you're disabling or enabling all the alarms at once, and it just checks and then goes through the map of the pending intents and will either set a alarm which would override a previous one if it was already set, or if they're supposed to be off, it will cancel that. And update alarm is called when you hit the on or off button on the detail page for the event, and it just goes to that one specifically and will turn it on if it needs to be on, or will cancel the alarm if it should be off. The last function I'll show you is onHandle intent. This gets called by the operating system when the alarm goes off, and passes in an intent, which is the same one that you give when you first set the alarm. That's important because it contains the event ID as well as the text, which is the title of the event. The ID is used so that when you press the notification, it opens the detail page for that event, as well as making a unique identifier for the notification, because like alarms, if they have the same ID, they will overwrite each other. And the notification gets built, and it's given the title and the text, which is the event title. And finally, we display the notification. Here's a graph showing how much time I worked on the project. The first half of the semester, I didn't really work on it because I'd never made an Android app before, and I was taking the Android development class at the same time. And so even though I spent about 30 hours studying my Android book, I didn't include that in the total here because some of that was for my other class. But just working on this project, it took a total of 54 hours and 15 minutes. In the end, I completed all my goals except for getting a list of events from a server. Right now, the list is only updated when the app gets updated, but the preferred method would be to have the app contact a server to get the list of events. And some differences from my initial design: I'd planned to put a bunch of buttons at the bottom of the main page, but when I found out about toolbars, I realized that was a much cleaner method and more standard way to include different options. And so the toolbar menu is where the options on the main page are. And I'd wanted to put a built-in star map in the app, but as I found out more about that, I realized that was its own project in itself, and that I could actually use the sky map instead and send my search terms for the objects in the sky to SkyMap. And that ended up being a better idea in the end. I learned a lot about Android apps while working on this project. I really enjoyed using Android Studio and being able to create an app that was useful, and hope to be able to make more Android apps in the future.